We OG, oh no, G. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Rooms is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro. Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, lock it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nukies on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me. Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. It's a revolution, ayy. Bitcoin is the one, no substitution, ayy. With Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal Revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem. What is up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. Like always, we are live for another Ordinal hour, and it's going to be a really, really good one because we're doing some things maybe a little different. So we're waiting for Foxy. Foxy's 24-hour game is going live, the Bitverse. And the last 2 hours of that will be Clan Wars. So tomorrow, we're going to go live 2 hours early for the Clan Wars, and then we're going to do our regular show at 11 like normal. But today, it's supposed to go live at 11. But they were in a spaces, so that it might get pushed back a little bit. But we're hoping to get that going, and we're going to stream it live here. I'll show you guys how to set it up, how to get started. So tune in for that. But we do have, our normal show to do. So we're going to get into a lot of Bitcoin news, get into the Bitcoin price action, which is finally looking really good. We hit below 56,000 last night, and we're back to 57.5. It's really weird. Like a few days ago, if you said 57.5, like, oh, really, we're dropping, but now it's like, oh, 57.5, let's go because we're up. So the differences are huge when you know where you've been the last 24 hours, right? So, but without further ado, let's get this thing started. Bringing my partner here, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, man?
Yeah, man. So, how are you feeling? I know we're both just, crying in like an AA meeting this morning at 56,000. Or a BA meeting, Bitcoin Anonymous meeting. Satoshi was there. We were all crying around a table talking about I'm a Bitcoin addict. No, I'm just kidding. How's everything with you?
Everything's good. Everything's good. Yeah, I'm not too shocked that like we're having a good bounce back this morning. Yesterday was kind of like taking some of that profit back. As I mentioned, the pendulum will swing, but right now we're looking at a very aggressive Bitcoin this morning. And we talked about, it hitting that 56,000 kind of liquidity pocket and either going down. I thought it wouldn't go down and it would go back to 61, the original target, but there was a big possibility, still is, for it to go down and fill the $51,000 wick. But the aggression that I'm seeing this morning, man, is people are buying the dip. That's what I'm saying.
I was listening to a stock show I listen to every morning. It's called Ben Singer Pre-Market Prep, and it basically gets you ready for the day in the stock market. And I listen to it because I like the host, and basically they were saying the buy the dippers are coming in today. Buy the dippers are coming in today. So yesterday, and we'll kind of get right into it. Why the buy dippers are coming in? So yesterday, Nvidia they had got sued. They had a subpoena, and their stock dropped a lot. And why does that concern us? It's because I say this all the time, but it's because Bitcoin is looked at as like a tech stock. So when Nvidia gets hit, all the tech stocks get hit. Obviously, we know Bitcoin's not a tech stock, but to the people with the big money in Wall Street, they, for some reason, they see Bitcoin as a risk-on asset, and they see tech stocks as risk-on assets. So that's kind of why we are kind of cooped up there. But how do you feel about that? Do you think that that was the reason why Bitcoin fell yesterday, or do you think it's other reasons?
I think it was more of like a psyop, a little fake out, and bringing those profits back from the day before, right? Because Bitcoin went from, I think it was like high 57,000 to 59, or no, sorry, 58 yesterday. Okay, Monday, sorry, 59,000 yesterday, 58.2. It brought, the highs were kind of leveling down. But I like I said, a lot of people that I follow as well were looking at that $61,000 target for Bitcoin. Whether we've already grabbed the liquidity that the market makers have gotten. Now, listen, they've grabbed liquidity, with this long squeeze the past week and a half too. You got to remember they hit, what was it, 63.5, 62. Thousand as well, and then they've gone all the way down to 55,000 last night, I think it was, right? So now it's kind of like, can we finally get a short squeeze? And I think that's possibly what's happening right now, but we need a little bit further confirmation for that.
Yeah, man. Jim Cramer got bearish on Bitcoin yesterday. So that was big. And why is that so big? Because famously, January 2023, Cramer advised people to stay away from Bitcoin and sell all their holdings during Bitcoin's dip to $16,000. Pretty. So anytime Jim Cramer says anything about Bitcoin, it's either you should do the opposite, and again, it's looking like you should have did the opposite from yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, he's the greatest indicator, right? As soon as he posts something bearish about Bitcoin, it's usually uptime. But yeah, I love that indicator.
Yeah, man. So it's just kind of like our title for today's show: important Bitcoin sneak attack. Will price do the opposite of public opinion? What do you think this means today? And what do you like? What happens next?
So I think that a lot of the retail traders and the public, like the industry community of crypto, really fell into the, September is typically a bad month, which it is if you look at the history. But I don't think they're looking at the recent history of even last year. Last year, Bitcoin was September was actually a green month for Bitcoin with a positive 3%, while August was a negative 11% last year. Well, that August moved to a negative 8%. So even though it wasn't great this year, it was still a 3-point increase, right? So it was better 3 points. So I just don't think all the negativity to yes, you use history as data, but if we're going off the recent history and what August did this year compared to last year, then September could have a decent little bounce back here.
Yeah, and especially with next, I'm gonna keep saying it because it's really important. Next Wednesday and Thursday, CPI and PPI, right? And then the following week will be the rate cut decision. So it's pretty crazy. So obviously next Wednesday, Thursday, big news, and then the following Friday is when they come out, or it might be a Wednesday or something. I can't remember the exact date they come out. The 18th is, but they come out and they say they're going to cut rates. And today, the Bank of Canada cuts their rates by 25 basis points, which is the exact thing we think the Fed's going to do here. But this is Canada's third month in a row of cutting rates.
Yeah. The U.S. is pretty much the last in this race, right? In terms of adjusting the monetary policy. So, I definitely expect something similar for us starting this month. Probably slow, right? 25 basis points, I think, is an agreement that I have talked about where it makes sense. But we shall see, right? What is this going to do for Bitcoin, though? I think that's more important to think about, right? Because a lot of the traditional TradFi guys say, well, hey, guys, cutting rates doesn't make the market better. It actually has shown to make it worse for that month. But I think Bitcoin's different, especially depending on what the dollar, the DXY, right, the Dixie is doing, and if it's showing strength or not. And Bitcoin could do a little bit of the opposite of what traditional stocks may do in September.
So I looked into that a little bit, and the reason people say that is because emergency rate cuts usually crash the market. Because but this isn't an emergency rate cut. This is we hit our goal, and we're going to slowly come back down. So I think this is different. And I think when people do that, they look back and say, "Oh, they cut rates here, and look what happened. They cut rates here, look what happened." Emergency rate cut, emergency rate cut. If you go back to the ones that weren't emergency rate cuts, the market does really well. So I just think that's when you're looking at data points and you're not actually looking at what happened and why they cut rates. That's why. It's because it's emergency. Oh, but emergency rate cuts happen because there's an emergency, right? So I mean, that's normally This isn't that.
I think whenever Jay Powell was talking about it, it almost kind of felt like it was like a mini emergency before that with the cash carry or the carry trade. Sorry.
He's never really spoken about that, though.
I know he didn't mention it, but we all know that was what was causing the fear in the markets for that week and a half, which was extreme fear. But again, I do agree in terms of kind of rebalancing and restabilizing things after that. We haven't heard anything from that since then, right?
Well, he actually kept rates the same after that.
Yeah,
so he had his meeting, and he didn't. So he was just like, I'm keeping them the same, even after that happened.
Yeah. What I think, he couldn't change anything because it was just a Jackson Hole meeting. He didn't have the ability to change it until afterwards. So that the carry trade happened after they made their decision prior to that event, and then the markets went crazy. And then he spoke at Jackson Hole, and he just kind of didn't talk on that at all. He just gave his opinion on what we should maybe expect on September 18th. So I think if he hadn't, yes, he could have probably done an emergency. Hey, look, this is an emergency rate cut. But you're in that aspect. I think you're right. He didn't feel like it was that crazy enough to do that, which is
because I mean, the Fed doesn't need a meeting to cut rates. They can. I mean, the morning of when the stock market crashed, he cut rates during COVID, right? So he can come out at any point and shoot off one of those bullets, which usually, it brings money back into the economy very quickly. But I think this is we're gonna hit this 17 mark where he's gonna drop at 25 basis points. I think dropping 50 is a mistake. I think they have to slowly cut it. But by the end of the year, we're gonna be around 3.75, which is very fair. Very fair interest rate. So and next year I think we're gonna get into the higher twos, maybe as a bottom. But what that's gonna do, the money that's in bonds is going to come pouring out, right? Because right now they're getting 5% interest rate. When it gets down to 3%, they're going to be like, I don't want to 3%. I need to make more than that, right? And they're going to be.
But that'll make the dollar dive, right?
The dollar will drop. Yes, yeah. But it's okay though, because right now the dollar's 101. The dollar's been historically 97, 98. You know what I mean? So right now it has that room to move back in that direction.
Yeah.
In 2021, it was like 94, 93.
Yeah, so my point that I'm making though is that's good for Bitcoin, right? If
Very
that
good.
happens, and we'll actually see the mechanics behind how bonds actually work and all that stuff, because it makes the dollar, a little bit weaker, and then Bitcoin loves to see that because it goes up when the dollar goes down.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. All right. So is sideways the real max pain? So a lot of people are saying we need to hit max pain before we can go back up. Have we hit? I mean, this feels way worse than a dip. I've lived through the the FTX dip. I've lived through the China banning Bitcoin dip. I've lived through a lot of things, and nothing is worse than this sideways. Is sideways the real max pain moment?
No, it's not. And max pain is really relative to the moment, in my opinion, of when that happens, because I think what they're talking about is the capitulation right before the rise up. And, if you look back at the previous couple cycles, there is a capitulation almost every time before that leg up in the halving year holiday season before heading into the post halving year, which is really the big year anyways. You can see, I think in 2020, it dipped pretty dramatically. Let me see how bad it was. Let me pull this up. Give me 1
See,
second.
you're looking at it as the price wise. I'm looking at it as like volume and momentum. Right now, I feel like there's no volume, there's no momentum right now in anything. If you look across the charts, Ethereum's at like an all-time low in fees. Bitcoin's basically there if it wasn't for uncommon goods and BTC names. I just think that the real max pain is nobody using the chain. And it wasn't supposed to rhyme, but it did. I feel like right now we are in a max pain moment of being completely bored and nobody doing anything. I feel like that's the real max pain. And by price, I mean, I think sideways is truly max pain.
Well, I think it is for people in our ecosystem, but I think when people are talking about max pain from the overall perspective of Bitcoin, it's something like this, right? So you see, where is it? So this looks like the last like hard dip before heading into that ascension into the holiday season of 2021. This is the daily chart, and you can see Bitcoin was at, what was this, about 12,000, and then it capitulated to about 9.8. So it's not like horrible, but I think that's what they're looking at, when they're talking about it, because you can see after that it kind of just really goes super hyperbolic, right? Like there's no other like dip as big as that. So from a percentage wise, I don't know what that is. You're talking about like 4,000 off of, that's about 33%, right? Or 30%. And so a 30% drop, and a lot of people talk about that. You'll see one final 30% drop, but I mean, who knows?
We're kind of there though. We're like 27% from the top, right? So I mean, technically, we've just been sitting in this hole now for like, I want to say over like 30-40 days of being below 60, and I feel like that's like the real shit show. I feel like it's there's nobody paying attention right now, and I feel like that's when things start to take off.
Yeah. Well, our guy Kai Effect here says, I'm still trusting the daily hash ribbon indicator. 50K probably the bottom. Yeah. So I think he's talking about that hash rate chart, right?
Oh yeah.
I think that's what you're talking about, Kai, right? The miners hash rate chart, like the fact that the difficulty level is continually going up. A lot of people have been bringing that chart up, saying, hey, you know what this means? But they've been saying that since last month. So to me, I'm like, is that like a pent up demand indicator for the miners? Because they're all coming online. That's making the hash rate difficulty level go up, and it's past the all-time, or the price for the first time you mentioned the other day. So
yeah,
that could be something big.
Amen. All right, let's get into the Bitcoin fear and greed. Yesterday was a 26. Last week was a 30. And I'll give you a hint. We're not far off either of those. So
28.
Close. 27. If I can show my screen here. The 27 is that number today, which is fair. But after 8 o'clock last night, you saw Bitcoin. So I'm expecting today. Well, no, with this upward movement. So I'm expecting to be back in the 30s. But this number has been very, very safe recently. We've been between 21 and 30 for about 2 weeks now. It's really nuts.
Yeah. And if you look at the range that we've been trading in, it's been 56 to what, like 60, 62, I think is a fair average of back and forth, right? So it makes sense. It did calm down because there was at one point where it was just so volatile. Yeah, I didn't even want to like guess at that point, right? So but all
right, guys. This is that time of the show. We take a look at what is Bitcoin doing right now. Brought to you by BitPerp. BitPerp is going to be one of the leading leverage exchanges in Bitcoin. It's going to be on probably a couple different chains, which is going to be awesome. But you will be able to go to bitperp.io in the future, and we're going to start doing some testnet trading. So if you're ever said I want to get good at trading leverage, this is your opportunity to do it with fake money. So you're going to get like a bunch of USDT to trade over there from those guys, and you're going to be able to trade it. I've been messing around trading over there. It's been kind of fun, but it'll probably open in a week or two. So look out for that, and keep an eye on BitPerp, because you're gonna be able to do 50x leverage on Mr. Yen, 100x leverage on Billy Cats. It's gonna be fun and exciting. Obviously, just be smart with it. It is leverage. You are borrowing, but if you use it like a casino and you use it to have fun, and if you're right a lot on the Bitcoin price, you might as well put a couple bucks and some high leverage and see what happens. But just know when you are using leverage that you are gambling. But at the same time, it's people go to the casino. Casinos are packed, right? So.
Yeah, exactly. But before we jump into Bitcoin price, guys, if you're on the YouTube side, please smash that like for us. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, and turn your notifications on so you know when we go live. And on the X side, guys, smash that like for us as well, and share the space so we can onboard as many people into the Bitcoin ecosystem as possible. But let's get into this price action today. Again, brought to you by the great people at BitPerp. You can see that we had this is the hour chart, by the way. I use this for the shorter time frame, which gives us kind of a reflection of how the rest of the day could go. We had some uptrend 2 days ago on Monday, and then yesterday we gave all that back, and now we are, looks like, Bitcoin chose to be aggressively up today, right? We were literally hanging around like the low 56,000s, toying with like 55 last night. And now we're all the way back to 57,500, right? This is the hour chart, and you can see how long we were hanging out and oversold on the stochastic RSI since let's see, yesterday at 7 a.m. And sometimes you'll see that, right? Unless there's a huge event one way or the other in terms of positive or negative sentiment, that like if you have a really gainful day, the next day, they're going to take it back. And that's kind of what we saw, right? But the overall plan starting on Monday morning was, try to get to 61, because that's where a lot of, indicators were pointing the price to go to. But it looks like they took that back all the way down to 55, like I said yesterday. And now it looks like we're back on track to possibly head towards that 61. I said that I think we're going to hit that this week. Obviously, anything can change. I'm trying to get better and better at this. But you can see here on the MACD, it's still looking like there's strength in the buy pressure. The blue and orange lines are opened up here. We'll see. There is a wick at 51,000 that, if they are going to try to get, they could, but we would think that they would have had that continuation down, the market makers, to push it back down to get closer to that. So I'm still staying on the $61,000 target. Okay, so that is for the rest of today. I do think that we're going to have some continuation with chop up and down to a positive uptrend. And then for the 8-hour chart, which is going to give us more of a weekly outlook, it looks like the sell pressure has kind of tightened up, closed up here on the 8-hour chart, which gives us a week, about 5, 7, 8 days forecast here. So we could start to see this pop up here. The stochastics looks like it got into overbought barely, right? So this is something that could, depending on how the rest of today goes, change its trajectory back to the upside. Then that means that, for the next week, we could see some bullish sentiment in terms of price action. So I do see, this kind of state restabilizing, not necessarily having so much sell pressure like it had for the past week or so, and possibly turning this trend around depending on how the rest of today and tomorrow goes. But that is what I'm seeing today. Some more bullish sentiment for the rest of the day. We'll see if there's any news that comes out.
Yeah, man. All right. Let's got to get into the roll call here. Let's see who's here. Let's see who's first. Mr. Hanky, I think it's 2 days in a row for you, my friend. But congratulations to you. You won today again. So you are the man. You are the Christmas poo, and your day is coming soon. So shout out to you, my friend.
The Christmas poo. I love it.
Chief Axel is here. Green Man. Zahid is here. Kai Effect. He is always here. Shout out to Kai. Glass Hoppers in the building. Shout out to you, my friend. He says, I bet Shizzy knows some card tricks. No.
That was a real photo, by the way.
Pilko says, BTC, keep teasing me. That's how I like it. Reziak is here. Lackey Lukey is in the building. Bitmap Gallery. Webdro. Shout out to you, my friend. He said, yes. Yeah, nice hats. Another winning thumbnail. Top hats merch. Yeah, we're going to get some top hat merch for you guys. This BJNZ is calling for it as well. Yes. Ordinal Revolution top hats. They're coming. Danny Boy says Spice Melange 15x already. It's a full moon 100x. Yo, Danny is deep. He doesn't care if everything's down. He's going to find you guys some 100x's. So shout out to Danny Boy. Hello, you British lords, says our boy Yasher, one of our mods. We appreciate you so much, my friend. No is in the building. And Yasher says it's a game time, baby. Yes, we're looking forward to playing the Foxy's game whenever it gets out there. So, Superfan, GM, my magicians, shout out to you, my friend. Chain Watchers here. Joko, Daywood is Amir Daywood's in the building. E-Buck, what's up, buddy? Chota Satoshi, excited for Foxy Clan Wars. Hell yeah, me too, man. Can't wait for that. SPI, Ant-Man, Claudia, shout out to you, my friend. Hey guys. Kai Fex says, I'm still trusting. Okay, we read that already. Tim Baker is here. Cash, yay, Cats. We like to call him our coach. Coach Catch is in the building. GM, always bringing the coffee, the donuts, and the dog. Go to the moon. Shout out to you, my friend. And Rick G coming in, sneaking in with a long live BRC 20. I feel like you're in Games of Thrones and you're just trying to, that old king that died, you're just trying to resurrect him. He's dead, my friend. No, I'm just kidding. Shout out to you guys, man. Everyone who made the roll call today, we appreciate you guys every single day. And yeah, let's kind of get on with it. All right, so big update. Version 0.20 of the Ordinals and Runes protocols was just released. Full index size. So they basically, the indexing size got a lot bigger. So it got a 45% faster. So, you know, sometimes when you mint something, it doesn't go through right away. You're like, oh, like, why am I not seeing my image or whatever? It's because, you know, it was only 170 bytes. But now it's a lot faster. It's about 45% faster. So you'll be seeing your index stuff really quickly, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
And
calm down some anxiety because I've had that for sure.
Yeah.
I'm like, where's my? Did I get it? Oh no.
Yeah. So this is some big news here. Something that I was already hinted on this. It was a rumor going around, but this is from Raktoshi. He says, I was a co-founder of Ordinals, and I've never said that publicly. And to my knowledge, nobody else has either, but it's true. I actually said that a few months ago. Not going to toot my own horn or anything, but before Casey, I was already working on implementing NFTs on Bitcoin. When he told me he believed he was the best person in the world to do it, I agreed. His unique blend of skills, an elite engineer with deep knowledge of Bitcoin transactions and a love of art, made him perfect for the task. He's an artisan. Casey wrote the code with Raf. Ordinally, and a few others. From day one, I was on every dev call with Casey and Raf. For the most part, it was just us, the three of us. Ordinally, two sometimes. I guess Ordinally is another dev. When we did spaces on X, hardly anyone showed up. I remember an Indian guy once came on stage and said Ordinals was the best thing ever, and then he vanished. Casey eventually canceled the spaces due to a lack of interest. After mainnet launch, inscriptions were slow at times. I inscribed things myself to create the illusion of more interest, hoping to motivate Casey and Raf. They'd ask if I did it, and I would say no. Then it happened. Suddenly, the whole world cared. The weight of that attention was overwhelming, but it was an incredible experience that transformed my life in ways I'm still processing, both good and bad. I left in March 2023. Maybe I'll share more details someday, but for now, I'd rather focus on the future. I just needed to get that off my chest. What do you think about Raktoshi's big tweet here?
Yeah, obviously that was something that was weighing on him for a very long time. Sometimes people just need to, get that thing that's like, that weight off of their chest or whatever, and it helps a ton. And I think that's what that was all about, right? You had told me about this, I think, months ago, and it was cool. I mean, it's a cool part of like the backstory of how Ordinal started. But yeah, I mean, he's always had his place in the Ordinal ecosystem, but now I think people might give him a little bit more respect. The fact that he was part of the, creation of the whole protocol.
And the rumor I heard in New York was that basically Raktoshi was a part of the original team, and his task was to mint the early stuff, mint the rocks, mint the node monkeys, mint a whole bunch of sub 100 ordinals and stuff like that, and then break that off with the rest of the team. He the rumor, this is completely rumor, was, and so far so it's been true. I don't know if this part's true, but the rest of it has been. Is that he basically burned Casey and burned the rest of the guys and just kind of sold the no monkeys to rumors BitGod and a few other people, sold the no monkeys to them, pocketed the money, and kind of did his thing. And Casey never gave him credit for ordinals because of that situation, and he never came in and said that, hey, I was a part of that original team. But that's just the rumor that I'm hearing. But this part is right, so I can't imagine the rest of it isn't right. So
come get your gossip. Come to the Ordinal Revolution to get your daily gossip.
I'm just saying, if the first part was true, why isn't the second part?
I mean, I don't know. Like, it's all speculation, right? Except for that first part, because he came out and admitted that. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, that part is kind of moved forward. I think that, like, if people want that second part of the story to be heard, then they'll probably come out with a response. But it's probably best not to say anything and just, like, move forward for the space, right? Because at the end of the day, there's been definitely people that have benefited from, the creation of node monks, whether Raktoshi was, behind that during the launch and all that stuff or not. So him inscribing those at that point, right? I know that I did, at least, coming off as a secondary market, it was an amazing opportunity for me. And I think that node monks are going to have a really strong place. Now, I commented on that post that he put out there, and I said, glad you could get this off your chest. Heard about this. Let's all make the entire space better, and I think that's what the focus should be.
Yep. So it was but it was pretty obvious that he was had something to do with it, right? I mean, you can't just inscribe all the rocks and all the no monkeys and everything, right? Without being on the inside. Yeah,
I mean, I don't know, but those rocks, like, they went for a lot, didn't they?
They're still going for like 6 or 7 Bitcoin.
That's crazy.
Yeah. All right. So this is pretty cool from DotSwap. I haven't had a chance to check this out, but I will read the tweet from these guys. A lot of tweets today from teams. But let me share my screen here. All right, so this is DotSwap. They said, manage and track your BTC assets with mempool of a portfolio. Monitor runes assets across multiple wallets. Set your custom tags for any address. Track real-time on-chain activities. So this is really cool. So now you can, DotSwap basically has a portfolio where you can kind of add all your wallets to it and kind of track everything. So you can be able to track your sell, and maybe you transferred it from one wallet to another. That'll show that buy and that sell for you. So this is all pretty cool. You can kind of go back and see all your trades you've ever made in every single wallet that you hold. So this is pretty cool. DotSwap, man, they're just building over there. When we talked to them, they had I can't remember what the exact number was, but they had so many devs when we were talking to the CEO, and he was like, "Hey, we got like 15 devs or something." And I remember just being like, "Oh crap!" But now you're actually seeing that happening in real time here with this update, because this is pretty cool update.
Yeah, I mean, any features that you can add to your product is a good thing. And this will give another reason why people will come over to DotSwap and use it, right? And that's all they're trying to do here. And I mean, I think this is what all projects should try to do, is add more features to your tooling and to your products, because that's give more people a reason to visit your site, to visit your application. So
Yeah, so good job, DotSwap. They're killing it, man. DotSwap, Odin Swap, they're just bringing what we love of LP pools and swapping to Bitcoin, even if it is a little centralized for now. So,
yeah, and I think, people have to give DotSwap some credit, because they could have easily walked away months ago when people were ignoring them. They kept building through, and I think that's one of the, aspects of working hard in a space to where you see an opportunity, but you might not necessarily be under like a spotlight or something, but there's still that opportunity if you keep pushing forward and coming every day, kind of like us, right? Like we work hard every day, and eventually like we grew. And I think that's what DotSwap's doing. And it's really cool to see other projects like that. Foxy's another example, you know. That's why I have so much confidence in this space, is because of the builders, man. They don't give up here.
Yep, 100%. I agree. All right, another big tweet from another team here is Unitap. They put out their update here. I think it's today's like update Wednesday or something, but new wallet update from Unitap. Deploy and mint new tap tokens. We're making the process of creating new tap protocol tokens significantly more simple. Next update this week, tap art. So they're going to make tap art super simple as well. So they are, they have a wallet, they're upgrading it, they're adding new ways to do things using the wallet and the website. So Unitap, man, they're out here, man. They're building. They're one of the few tap projects that have they came on Tap Tuesday. I can't remember. I think LaFrog did, right? I think he was a part of. I can't remember. But one of the few teams
I don't think he was. I don't think he was a part of the Unitap team. But we have done a pre-record with them for sure.
Yeah. But I was just they haven't been on Tap Tuesday, which is weird.
Nope.
So, all right. This is right here. Deployment, whatever. Yep. All right.
We got a message though here.
What's
it's
that?
from Samdut Sharma. It says, I tested Tap Wallet messaging service yesterday. Please reply. It's Sharma. So maybe they sent you a message. You're gonna have a tons of messages in there, by the way.
Message me, guys. Message Shizzy. I might send you something. I might not though. We'll see. But I have a bunch of this crap in that wallet, just tap stuff that I wouldn't mind getting rid of, honestly. So I'll send it to you guys. But yeah, so the next thing here, and the last thing I have, because I was kind of preparing for Foxy's thing, so I didn't have get as much news as I wanted to. But Fractal Goose 10K collection on Fractal sub 10K. So now, if you guys go to Chain Racing Club, I'll do that. That's Block. It's our guy Block. He's going to be launching. Well, I don't know if it's him, but someone from that team over there. They're going to be launching Fractal Gooses. And I reached out to Block. I'm going to try to get him on the show and kind of maybe break down exactly how to mint these on the 9th when Fractal is live. Because you can see the goose is loose on Fractal, and you're going to be able to do it September 9th, 2024. You're going to be able to mint your own goose on Fractal. So I'm excited for that. That's going to be fun. I'm hoping to get mine sub 1,000. How cool would that be? You get a goose sub 1,000 over there. So I'm going to be minting some gooses. I'm going to try to get like 10 or 20 of them potentially. So, I mean, there's 10,000. Might as well try to get at least a couple.
Yeah, I'm actually really bullish on this because it reminds me of those Ethereum projects that launched on like Polygon. I know I've said this before, but if you remember the value of their original NFT on Ethereum for all of those, other ones that launched on other chains, the value on the original just like was so much higher. And I think that's going to happen with Goosenals too. Not saying that Fractal Goosenals doesn't have an opportunity. There's an opportunity there, but if you hold a regular Goosenal, I think this is going to be good whenever, we're in peak bull market.
Yeah. I mean, for me though, I'm actually more bullish on the Fractal ones because they're going to be sub 1,000 potentially, right? It depends on how early you're able to get there. You did see 1 million. I think it was 1 million inscriptions happen very quickly. So within I think it was 2 weeks. So getting a sub 100K is probably going to be like the first couple hours.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, I love this. My guy Kai's calling out Block. He says, "What happened to the Matrix phones?" Yeah, hopefully we can get Block to pull us into the Matrix so we can maybe flip those phones for some good profit there. We'll see coming up.
Man. D-Love says, I'm just hearing that Raktoshi is a part of the founder. Why didn't Casey said anything about it? So the rumor is that Casey was pissed off at him for kind of burning them, not giving them a piece of the profits of the node monkeys, and that's just a rumor. But he says he didn't write the code. So obviously, if you write the code, then you're in it, right? So it was just Rav and Casey who actually wrote the code. Raktoshi was just the guy inscribing and stuff like that. So I don't know if Casey even considers him a part of the team. If that rumor is false, that he did burn them or whatever. So I don't know. That could be that reason as well. I'm not really 100% sure. I'm waiting for Casey to kind of respond to Raktoshi, and then we can actually find out the real thing. I think Casey does respond to him.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. That's it definitely brings a little juicy news, I guess, to a time period where it's a little bit stale, right? So
Yeah.
um
Sixes says Bell's Corner this week. So Bell's Corner is gonna be every other. So we're gonna do I'll schedule him again next week and see if we can get some updates from what's going on over there.
Yep.
Atomic Rod.
This was a really cool comment here by Claudio. It says average life of crypto scams dropped from 271 in
Yeah.
2020 to 42 days in 2024. So it looks like the space is starting to smarten up, which is a good thing.
Yeah, for sure. Or the scam artists just don't see opportunity. That could be it too. You know?
Sure.
So
That could be.
they just give up because they're not making enough. So where do you want to go next? Check out some prices or
Yeah, let's jump into to see what the let's do a little market update with what's going on with the ordinal collections and stuff like that.
sounds good. I'm gonna go to the 7-day and I'll show my screen here. All right. So we got the runestones with the most volume in the 7-day. Why do you think people are buying these runestones? Think you're just trying to get ahead of the next rune that's dropping?
Yeah, I do. And then also people are just trading those too, man.
Yeah.
If you look at the volume, it's absolutely nuts in terms of, people are making good money trading the low, buying the lows and selling the highs, right? So if you're a good trader, plus look, it's 25% on the diamonds and people are preparing for that. So there's a lot of variables that go into, reasons why the runestones volume is so high.
Yep. Node Monkeys sitting at basically a couple month low here at 0.115. I don't remember seeing them any lower than 0.11. I'm not curious if you have, but this is pretty cheap.
Yeah, that's really cheap. I think the lowest that we saw this dry period was 0.109. They haven't got under 0.1 from anything that I've seen, but this is close to the lowest I've seen.
Yeah, I agree. The F6, they were flying. These got up to about, I think, 0.01 and kind of falling back down here to 0.0076. So these will start mining you fractal Bitcoin on the 9th once the chain opens. So if you do own one of these, you'll be getting some FB. So that's not something I would want to get into. I'm not really too big on the mining of this anyway. So I would get an NFT that got me Bitcoin, but probably I don't really want the FB token too much.
Yeah, but I mean, I would imagine that the FB token is going to have a really high market cap. But it's like, how much are you really getting for one FSEC, right? In terms of the token, it's going to be split amongst what's the total supply?
There's a lot, yeah.
So, are you hearing anything in terms of like difficulty of mining FB? Is it pretty?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's going to be a 2-week. It's going to be the same as Bitcoin. Every 2 weeks, it's going to change. So the obviously whatever it comes out at, it's going to be super low. So you're going to be getting probably the most the most Bitcoin for the cheapest. It's going to be pretty cheap to mine it in the first 2 weeks. But then I think the difficulty adjustment is going to happen, and that's all going to change. So if you might actually earn the most in the first 2 weeks, and then maybe sell it after that point. But you got to remember too. So the fair pool is going to be massive. It's going to be probably easily the biggest pool out there, and they're probably going to win 70, 80, 90% of the blocks, right? Because how massive it's going to be.
Yeah. But this is a merge mining chain, right? So isn't it like Doge and Bitcoin?
I think it's just Bitcoin and Fractal.
Okay. So, I mean, theoretically, they could hit, a Bitcoin block. And if that's the case, they better share that with like all the people that, have these F6, right? I would imagine, unless they put in the actual, unless they put in the actual information that this is only for the FB token.
So I think when you're merge mining, like you're picking both of them, and yeah, I don't know how that's going to work. I haven't really done enough research on merge mining, but I don't think by just, I don't know how. I know Adam McBride was explaining it to us, how you're kind of you're fusing the same number for the Bitcoin chain and for Fractal, right? So you're just guessing a number and you're using it for both chains. So I don't know if you're going to be able to. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of questions about that, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think we probably need to dive a little bit deeper into merge mining, but that was my assumption of it. But maybe it's not to where, because I can't imagine like someone that's merge mining winning a block. You know what I mean? On Bitcoin, that seems like very hard, if even possible. So
I don't know if the FSIC guys would even waste that hash power and merge mine it. They would probably just use their ASICs to kind of just do fractal, because I think you're probably going to make the most money off fractal, especially in the beginning.
Yeah, probably mass mine that, right? But anyways, it's gonna be interesting, at least to say the very least. I mean, that definitely jumped up in price. I wanted to get in on the FSIC, but I was just kind of like, I don't know how people are going to respond to fractal, because there is a lot of FUD on the timeline about fractal and sidechain this and blah 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 blah. But then you see from Magic Eden that like the volume's there, right? So how do people really feel? You're the one that always says that people will vote with their mouse and keyboards, right? So seems like they like it
for now. I mean, there's 34 pending buys on this block list. So yeah, I think once it goes live and you kind of see how much FB you're getting, that'll actually show probably, it'll probably be less than you're thinking you're going to get. I think that's the big thing. I think when you buy one of these, you're expecting, I'm going to get a shit ton of FB. And then after a few weeks, you're like, damn, I barely got enough to, pay myself back for buying that thing. So I don't know. I think it's showing that it's up because it's pre mining basically.
Yep. And Bitcoin's ripping right now. I want to show something real quick.
Yeah.
So Bitcoin's about to break 58,000. It just did. Look at this. You can see this is the DGen minute chart, Yagobi's DGen minute chart. But I do pull it out to at least, I try to get at least three hours of data on the minute chart. Hey, call me DGen all you want, but it does show you kind of what people are thinking. Obviously, in the short term, you can see all this support, all the blue right here is buy, and there's no yellow, there's no resistance really. Right now there's some targets that were probably set up here for short positions to be opened up. That's probably what this is. But I mean, look at this, there's like barely to none yellow right there, right? So we'll see how long this goes, but I mean, this could continually range up, man. This could be an aggressive hyper pump. We'll see what happens, but we just broke 58K. So let's hope for the best that Bitcoin's on this run and we're going to get kind of back close to the 60,000 mark. That would be great.
On the 5-minute chart, it was showing a bull flag and it just broke out of that pattern on the 5-minute chart.
Yep.
Probably the 1-minute chart as well, but yeah. All right. Bitcoin Puppet sitting at 0.079. Basically 13 Bitcoin in volume there. So the puppets, man, they are sitting at a juicy number. I didn't think they'd ever get below 0.1 again. I wasn't expecting this sideways for this long though either. So what do you think about the puppets? Do you think this is like a buyer here?
Oh man, the only thing about the puppets with me is the inscription number, and I know that like I probably overvalue that just because of my history of being in collectibles for so many years. But I have that feeling that eventually that is going to be like a layer of value that people look at. Now, the puppet community is big, they're loud, so regardless, this could be a good buy point. I would probably like this a little bit lower, maybe closer to Frog's price. And then that would be amazing, which would be, pretty big jump down because you're looking at 0.08 versus 0.03. So that's my, my personal price that I would love to get in at. I don't think we'll see that though.
I mean, you're talking frog numbers.
Yeah. What about you though? What do you think? Do you think this is a good price for puppets at 0.079?
I think this is an amazing price. I mean, you got to remember who's in that, right? You got Farmer Joe. You have Hills, you have that whole community over there. I think that is, I mean, that's the largest community in my opinion of people with actually can pump things. Farmer Joe, he could pump anything, right? So I mean, he had what's the name?
Except for Bitcoin Maxis, because he was in the Discord, he was a mod, but like that was the one thing he wasn't able to help pump.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's weird. Yeah, I forgot he was part of that. Moving along here, Quantum Cat's sitting tight, dude. We were talking about this morning, but Quantum Cat's sitting at 0.24. This one has been very, very, still. I mean, it floats between 0.24 and 0.28. And, this is, I mean, you got to see the no monkeys sitting at 0.0115, and this is just hanging out. And for the longest point, it could never get anywhere near the no monkeys. But now it's just, the cat does not die.
Yeah, I mean, I got to give credit to Udi and his team for that. I mean, it's all about messaging for sometimes with these ordinals communities, right? Like the message for them was, don't list your quantum cats, and they pretty much almost made you feel dumb if you did, right? They're like, this is why, this is why, this is why, and I think sometimes collection founders have a hard time saying that. It's kind of like at the church, like to not talk about like collection time, whenever people are tithing. Like pastors don't like to be like, oh, it's time to give us your money. But like, I think it's like the collection founders don't want to be like, don't list your thing. But, Udi and Eric, they have a strong message with that. Or I'm not sure how much Eric's involved, but Udi and his team definitely have a strong message. It's worked. Like it's kept their floor at, 0.2. It hasn't gone below that. So.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think everyone was yelling and crying about that it was 0.1 was the how much Udi and them charged, right? But it's never been below 0.2. Like, and since then, I remember like you could get it on the first week at like 0.17, but ever since that, I mean, it hasn't been lower than 0.2, and it's got all the way up to about 0.5 at one point. So, yeah, Udi, unless Udi's just buying the floor up, right? And with the money that he got from that, he says anytime it drops below, they're just buying them up. So because they know how big it's going to be because they're the ones doing it. They know that potentially
what they have planned and all that stuff. Yeah.
So they might just be like, these are dirt cheap. We're gonna get way more for this later. So I don't know. Well, it's a speculation by me. I have no indication that they are doing that, but who knows? Enemeos, something our boy Danny Boy told us about, I believe. Haven't really looked into this. They look pretty cool though. I'll give them that.
Yeah, I think the art's cool, right? It's not. It's a little funny, kind of not like perfect art. I like it. It's a little abstract kind of thing. But again, like how many of these collections can do well in this kind of time period we're in, right? And also, we've seen every ordinal run up that one to three new collections becomes, tries to challenge the top three. What is that going to be? We've been talking about what is that going to be for a while now, but now I think we're getting close to where, the entire environment's going to get bullish again. So we really need to probably start thinking what is going to be the new 1 to 3 collections that will challenge, the top 3 to 5 collections that have been keeping that volume up. And it's going to be exciting to see because there's a lot of contenders.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Ordinal 0.55, the orange eyes, right? I wonder what the floor is for the green eyes, because I remember the green eyes being around 0.15 way back when. So let me check that out. So green eyes are at 0.269. So the green eyes, they're still hanging out a lot higher. Because I was looking at the prices of things from this time last year to where they're at now, and like I said, these ones were at 0.15, 0.17 around September of last year, but now sitting at 0.269. So do you think the orange eyes keeps this price up?
Yes. They, ZK Shark is brilliant with this. Honestly, you might hate him. You might hate how the OMBs look or just the culture or whatever you can say. The only thing that I can say is this guy has been able to really create a tier system that has really played out to perfection, in my opinion. Because like if you're one of those early red and blue eye purchasers or mentors or however you obtain it, doesn't matter, because now you're looking back and you're like, dang, these are valued very, very nice. And it's going to play out that way once we're in the full-fledged of the bull market. And there's so many more chances too for like, imagine like Node Monks, right? In the heart of the bull market, Node Monks floor gets to 1 Bitcoin, let's say. But if you have an alien, how many aliens are there? Like 10? I think there's like a very small amount, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got 10 people that have an opportunity to really sell that stuff for crazy. Over here, you have like, a good amount of red eyes and a good amount of green eyes. Not anything crazy like thousands, but like enough to where multiple people can sell those at a pretty crazy price if, the whole OMB collection goes up in the heart of the bull market. So I think this actually benefits the holders in the long run a lot. The early.
How do you feel?
Viewers.
Yeah, I'm sorry. How do you feel about the 4,800? That's going to be white eyes.
So that has to be, so that's the final tier, right? Because that's going to put it
this
at
will be a 10K
10,000
collection. Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter like in the heart of the bull market, because at that point it's just going to be OMB. What's the floor of OMB, right? That's going to be the focus, in my opinion. But later on, when things slow down, those wide eyes will be the ones that, you know, obviously the people want the most, right? Because that's, you saw it kind of with the orange eyes, but the orange eyes, you know, maintain that 0.2, right? So
it did.
So
well,
that's crazy.
0.15, but yeah.
Okay, 0.15 is still not bad though.
So can you see the white eyes being 0.1?
In full on bull market, higher, you know, depending on like how the total collection does, how the culture does, how the marketing does. We know he's like a master of marketing. You know, he has a book. He calls people like basically they just got hired to a company. If you're like, you know, he was calling people that bought some of these OMBs early on. So I think that's how you create a really strong community, is really feel like they you know are worthy, basically, right? As a holder.
NatCat sitting at 0.017. This one had all-time high about 0.14, all-time low of about 0.009, I believe, but now sitting around 0.017. How do you feel about the NatCats and the DMT movement?
I think NatCats are going to be like one of those plays that people probably wish they could buy at this price. I think they blow up. I think the DMT community and the protocol itself just gets better and better with time. You know, once they have it down packed to where they, you know, new builders that come in can simplify it for their product to the everyday, you know, enjoyer, ordinal enjoyer and stuff like that, that's when things take off. And I think they're getting closer and closer to that every day, you know? So it's just like the internet. When the internet first came out, people were like, how does this work? I remember Brian Gumble was like, electronic mail, what is that? Right. But as time went on, like people just like inherently understood it in the way they could use it. And I think that's how DMT will be.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, it's just using block data to create pictures right now, right? So, I mean, I can't really see it doing much else than that in the future. So, I'm bullish on DMT as a hype machine. I'm not really bullish on it like long term.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a system, though, right? It's a system of using metrics to create something that, you know, is non-tangible, but it's a system that works based off an already existing system in terms of the Bitcoin blocks, right? So that's what makes it so unique, is because you don't have to think of new ways to create this system. You're basing it off of another system, basically.
Yeah, I agree. All right, jumping to see some rune prices. Let's tell them same thing with this. I'm going to go to the 7-day. I'm going to go to where's the volume?
Oh.
So it's not looking good here. $1 Billion Cat is down 40% on the week. Holy moly. That is not looking good. Doggo to the Moon is down 6%. RSIC down 11%. Like I said, $1 Billion Cat down 40%. Pups down 35%. And then you do see some green, though. We do have Uncommon Goods up 10% on the week. BAMP is up 40% on the week. It's a full moon. This is the Ordinal Witches, I think they call themselves, or something like that. I'm not really sure, but they're up 25% on the week. Decentralized down 18%. This one's been down only for months now. Zbit up a little bit, 0.6. Liquidium sitting flat on the week. Lobo to Wolf Pup down 10%. And, you know, like I said, it's, you know, dogs down 6%, Lobo down 10%. So it's definitely a derivative of dog, dude. It's every time I look at it, if dog's down 5, it's down 10. If dog's up 5, it's up 10. It's pretty crazy how it follows dog.
Yeah. No, we talked about this yesterday in I think our members video, and it is, that was smart for them to, help with the initial inscription of dog and airdrop and stuff, because they basically were able to tag their token to dog, right? Because that logo, the wolf pup. I'm speaking about Buoyant Capital, which is behind that, and they've come up with staking and stuff like that. So, but their success is tethered to the success of dog, right? So smart on their part. That's for sure.
Yep. All right. And then we have NUSD Spice. Oh, this is what Danny was talking about. Spice Melange. This is a rune. Check out this market cap and stuff. Danny is always on the new stuff, man. Shout out to that guy. But damn, $25,000 in volume on the daily, so that's pretty big. 110,000 market cap, so tiny market cap. 100 million tokens, 554 holders. Yeah, so this is one.
Yeah. I mean, I runes, the entire ecosystem is really going to only level up and until Bitcoin does, right?
Yeah.
So if we can continue this bullish sentiment that we're starting to see, it's at 58,168, basically back to where the high was yesterday. And so, I think getting to 60,000 is the next big hurdle. But if we get to 60,000, we could possibly see a decent size level up with runes. Nothing crazy, but just some positive price action.
Yeah, I'm kind of really hoping for that, honestly. It's just been red every time I check it. That's the reason why we don't really do the market updates anymore, is because it's hard to report bad news day in and day out here. But we reached the hour here. We're posting the Foxy stuff, guys, but we just got word from those guys that it's approximately going to be a 2 to 3 hour delay. So check back with Ordinal Revolution later today, and maybe we'll go live later. I'm not sure.
We'll figure something out, because the biggest point of going live for this is to get you guys prepared for the clan war, which is tomorrow. So we want you guys to learn the keys on your keyboard and how to shoot, and everything else strategy wise is up to y'all. But we're not going to show any tips and tricks that we use. Definitely not mine. But we did find out, though, there is a prize for the clan wars too. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be talking about this, but I'm going to tell you guys anyways. And I believe, let me see. So the winning team will be able to claim a miner, I believe, but only up to 25. So we'll get more information on that. But those bit miners, man, I think those could do very well, especially if you know how to utilize it. And there's going to be instructions and stuff. We're going to put a video out for that as well. So, and Bitcoin's heading up now. It's 58.3. So,
ooh,
I mean, there's an aggression with Bitcoin today. That is 100% fact right now.
So Yasher says, Shizzy, can you add me the Telegram username to the Foxy? Yes. If you guys want into that, let us know as well. Go into the just go into the Foxy Discord. Ordinal Revolution is one of the things, and the link is in there. But I will definitely add you. So anyone else who wants to get in to we have a Telegram group for the Clan Wars. So if you're interested, Reziak, it won't let me add you. I don't know why.
I messaged you back, Reziak, too. So if you can just give me your TG username, I'll try myself. But
let me I'll put the invite in the chat.
Oh, there it is. He said at Reziak. Okay, so I'll try that myself, and maybe my account can add it. I'm not sure. But he also asked about White Eye, and we were talking about the OMB White Eyes, which is the next release, and it's the final release of the OMB collection. So that's what we were talking about with that.
Yeah, anybody else wants to get in? I put the Telegram in the chat here, so you guys feel free to enter. I think the cap is 25 people, so just let us know. Just make sure you guys are, if you do join, make sure you guys are able to play the game today and tomorrow. So
yeah, that's the thing, is that you guys have to be available for the game if you want to be added. But I'm going to add you now and see if maybe I can add you.
Rezi said, has it been confirmed? So it's pretty much, I mean, I was talking to some guys very knowledgeable. So I don't think it's confirmed, but it's definitely talked about they want to get this to a 10K collection before the bull run starts, and doing 4,800 white eyes could be the play. And the other rumor was that they might just do like 2,500 white eyes this time, and then do another 2,300 for different color eyes as well. But it's really up to ZK. But that's just the rumor that I'm hearing, that they want to get this to a 10K collection, and white eyes are next.
Okay, so that's why is that you have to add Reziak as a contact. So let me add him as a contact for me first.
Gotcha.
And then I'll add him to the group.
It looks like people are hopping in there, so definitely hop in there, guys. It's going to be fun, and we're going to share some like alpha stuff in there as well. So if you're part of that, you guys are winners. But I think we're going to cut our show a little short today. We've really planned for Foxy today. We did have Bitcoin machines lined up, but the Foxy thing kind of pushed that back. So we'll have the Bitcoin machines on next Wednesday. And then obviously we'll probably be back later to go live for when Foxy's game is. So keep the little bell icon loaded up, guys. So we'll let you guys know when we're in. And just remember, the last 2 hours of the Foxy game is Clan Wars. So prepare yourself to get really good at it in the beginning. And then at the end, do your thing. Let's show up. Let's get some W's for Ordinal Revolution. We'd appreciate that. And who knows, if we do win? If we win, should we give something away?
Let's not say anything about that right now, because there's a bunch of information that we're going to be giving out. Because we have some big plans with the whole Bitverse guys. But in our members videos, we talked a little bit about that yesterday. But once we're ready to announce that to the public, we will.
Yeah, just a heads up. We will be doing a snapshot for people who have the Ordinal Revolution passes. You will be getting something soon. And if you are a member, you look out for a video in the future. It'll probably be in a few weeks, but that video is going to be like, hey guys, just drop your wallet address in the chat, and that way we can grab you guys. So we're going to reward our YouTube members, and we're going to reward our Ordinal Revolution pass holders. So look out for that, guys. And then we're going to be doing something really cool with Foxy as well. So tune into that. That should be really fun. And we'll see you guys. Well, yeah, go check out ordinalrevolution.com. My brain's all messed up. Foxy messed me up today. But check out ordinalrevolution.com, guys. We have some of the best articles over there. We got articles dating back all the way to last September. If you know someone new just entering the Bitcoin space, send them our website, ordinalrevolution.com. It's over there. Check that out, guys. I forgot where it was.
It needs another vacation. I'm just kidding.
No, I'm just unprepared today because of the Foxy thing. But when someone tells me something, I lock into it, and then that didn't happen, so I'm disappointed. But it's all good. Foxy's a little behind, but they'll get it together. And then, guys, we do have some of the best merch there. Ordinal Revolution, hit the store button, and then that'll take you to the merch, and you guys can get to looking at some merch. I don't know, but go ahead, dude.
All right, and then also, if you get a moment, please check out our partners, guys. BitPerp, we talked about them earlier. They're a premium perpetual DEX, going to be launching on a Bitcoin Layer 2 in Q4. The paper trading competition is coming up. You can learn more about them at bitperp.io. Ordinal Hive, they are about to finalize their aggregator marketplace for Bitcoin native layers. So that's stuff like Magic Eden, Unisat, all that stuff that will feed into them. So you'll get the cheapest prices there. And then also they scaled out on Merlin chain. So you can visit beta.ordinalhive.io and you can start listing things. You can start earning points. That's the biggest objective, in my opinion, there, is because those points are going to act very similar to like what Blur did with their points. So you already know if you're familiar with that. And then we have fluid tokens as well. If you are a project founder, an Ordinal project, a Runes project, and you want to enable staking for your community, you can reach out to Fluid Tokens. They are going to offer that, right? So that should be very, very soon. I think mid-September. And that's about the time you'll get your airdrop too for your Fluid Pass. Guys, there's 3 tiers for that Fluid Pass, by the way, depending on where you ranked in the top 1,000. But you'll be able to stake those right away for Fluid Token, which is already out, actually, because they were a Cardano project before, and they're going to have Runes as well. So make sure to check them out. And then we have Verothium Dex, which is a Merlin chain Dex that focuses on synthetic Bitcoin Layer 1 assets. You can stake your BRC 420s right now. They're going to keep adding more. Right now they have the V mines, they have the Dragon Ball, and they have the blue box as well. And then finally Foxy, we're going to have the live stream up soon, tomorrow for sure. We'll find a time today to figure out when we can do it. It might be shorter than what we originally planned, but I think 30 minutes to an hour will suffice to teach you guys how to shoot, how to move around and stuff like that. But it will be fun, guys. So just stay tuned to our Twitter brand account or X brand account for updates on that.
Yeah. And guys, we're live Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. UTC. So check us out all week, guys, and we'll see you later today.
Peace.
We OG, or no OG. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to upload, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to upload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Rooms is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro. Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro. Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, like it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nuki on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me.